1, 2, 3.
Glowing Up Latina, Season 3, Episode 3.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Glowing Up Latina.
Hi. Hello.
How are you guys on this rainy Saturday morning?
Who are you?
Oh, so sorry. I'm Christina.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Liana.
Okay. How are you guys on this rainy Saturday morning?
Wishing it wasn't raining, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is like the 6th Saturday in a freaking row that we had mother flipping rain.
Yeah.
So,
It's always raining.
What sucks is that it's not like we're not looking forward to warmer weather. Because you know how it's like May
Right.
showers bring
exactly. So I was hoping
it's
that
April
maybe
showers.
April showers. Yes,
April showers.
like, what's that? That's how we're doing on this rainy Saturday.
So thinking about fall, it's just like every weekend I was hoping that maybe we could go outside and like enjoy
anything.
a walk in the park, see the leaves change colors. Like, no, but I can't because I'm stuck at home. I'm supposed to go to a pumpkin thing later on, like a pumpkin lantern show later on that's outside and it's raining. Like, what? No. Mm-mm.
And then it's winter.
Yeah, and then it's just cold and snowy and windy. Sometimes I think about when we went to Tao for our, Friendsgiving, our Christmas party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was just so flipping cold.
Yeah, it was Friendsgiving.
It was cold that day? Like,
It was.
Girl, it was.
Yeah, there was like the,
yes.
what is that thing they call it? Oh, not a tundra. That's the wrong word.
Cyclone?
Yes.
It was like cyclone?
Something, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It was like a
yeah,
winter thing.
It was like, there was like a weather warning. And we were like, let's go to Tao. Ugh. How's y'all's mornings been?
It's good. That's good. Traffic in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
No, can't.
Well, it's Saturday. We already know Amanda's Saturday routine, laundry. So yeah, already did laundry today.
Yeah, I was
I don't understand.
Well, I was productive to a fault this morning. I got up and I did like 2 loads of laundry. I cleaned the apartment and then I ate breakfast. So yeah, and then which made me late because I thought I had enough time to do everything. So yeah, I was like 15 minutes late this morning, but because I was being productive, not because I was laying in bed.
Right. I mean, I already did laundry. Constantine actually cleaned while I did laundry.
Oh wow!
Now he's off doing groceries. I had to get everything ready here. So yeah, I woke up super early this morning at 6:30.
So okay, actually, one day you texted me and you were like already on your way to work, and it was like 7 something in the morning. I was like, well, no wonder this girl can't sleep in. She's probably getting up at like 5:30 every day.
That's
like
me.
7 is sleeping in for her.
That's my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I just woke up. Got dressed and got here.
I was like, oh, look at that. It's time to get ready and go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we're going to be talking about, I don't really know like where I got this idea from, but you know those things that were like, you know, somebody tells you like, hey, you should probably do this, and you're like, nope, I know better. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm going to do what I plan to do. And then you're just like, oh, damn. That did not go the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is it? DW, the sign won't stop me because I can't read. That's how it be sometimes. But that's what we're talking about this week. You know, those things that, I don't know if my mom's ever told me I told y'all so. Have y'all's moms? My mom has a look. I've never gotten like, I told you so, Christina, you should have listened to me.
Yeah, no, I don't, I've never gotten that. It's just more of a silence. Like I'll tell her, like if something happened and I bring it up, it's more like, yes, quiet, crickets.
Yeah, I've gotten that.
Like I know what she's thinking. I know what she wants to say, but she's not the type of person to be like, well, I told you. So she's just like, okay, interesting.
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I see.
Whoever could have predicted this happening? Yeah. Do y'all have like a really big one for y'all?
My mom, we already had this, we spoke about this before. Like, not that she taught me how to like do my finances, but more like don't depend on someone else for like income, or don't even if you get married. She told me, even if you get married, Amanda, and you have your husband, before me and Constantine were even a thing. So this is little old Amanda, little Amanda, young Amanda at age 11. Don't like depend on your significant other for income. Like, you need to take care of stuff on your own. Like, it's nice. Okay, maybe they can help out, but like, you need to make sure you can cover your ass at all times. Yeah, that came to bite me in the ass. Yeah, at some point. And now I know. So yeah, thank you, Mommy. Yeah.
Did you have to tell your mom when it happened?
Yeah, I told my mom. She was just like, again. So when I told my mom, she was just like quiet. And I told her over the phone, and silence. She's like, okay, well, I mean, and it's always well, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. It's always, I don't know what to tell you, but, and then she starts going into a whole explanation, discussion on like what I need to do now. Not what she doesn't go like it. What I love about her is that she doesn't go back and say, well, you should have done this. And she's like, at that point, we're already past this. So this is what what you're going to do now. So, yeah, she makes me like see it through and work on it. So now I'm currently working on it.
I think for me, something that my mom has always taught me since I was little is that whatever I do, I should do it with love and care. And I say that because, well, she says that because I tended to have an attitude problem whenever I didn't want to do something. And it was bad. It was real bad. Like, I would cry, I would throw shit. Like, I was like
when you were younger? When you were younger?
Like, I was just, I would have like tantrums. And
I can't imagine.
I can't either. You're like,
no.
Like, even when I've seen you mad, like, you're still like so like chill.
Or like, because you're saying you're little and having a tantrum. I think of the picture that you showed us with you and your mom. I think it was your kindergarten graduation, and she has like, you have a red shirt on. She has her arm around you.
Oh, is it the soccer one?
Okay, so I'm thinking of little Liana like that. I'm like, damn, she could throw a tantrum. This little girl,
she's throwing shit around.
Really, she's throwing shit around.
Yeah. It was bad, guys. I had a really bad attitude problem.
Well, but you were like an only child for 7 years.
Yeah.
No, that tracks, actually.
I didn't throw tantrums. I was an only
that's
child.
Right.
What the hell? I don't know. Once I did it, and my mom took care of me that day. So, yeah. Sorry, Liana.
And it was just, so like every time she would ask me to do something and I wouldn't want to do it, like I would throw a tantrum, whatever, blah, 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 and then I would end up doing it. But like, I would do it in a way that was just, I was like mad, I was angry, and so it never came out right. So I would do it, and then my mom would always be like, I wonder why it didn't come out the way that it was supposed to. And I'm like, well, who knows? But it wasn't me. Like, I would literally like really ignore the fact that I did it in a bad way and just be like, okay, Mom, well, we're just going to redo it. And she's like, okay, sure. Sure, you do that and let me know how it goes. And I'm like, okay, cool.
That's a good one. Like, my mom also has said that too. She goes, if you're gonna do something, like, right, do it like because you care. Don't do it don't do it don't be obligated to do something or de mala gana. Like, just with bad malintention. Like, if you're gonna do something, do it well, because if you don't do it well,
it doesn't come out right.
They don't come out right. And you're like, shit.
Yeah. And then you have to go with your tail between your legs and like, it doesn't come out the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about like in y'all's romantic relationships?
I mentioned this in an older episode when we were talking about the birds and the bees. Where my mom said it only lasted a minute.
You're never gonna get it back.
Don't fall into the temptation. She told me that. But in a more serious note, she used to tell me, like, you know, if whoever you're with doesn't treat their parents with like respect, or doesn't include like your family in the things that are happening in your lives, then how can he like really care for you? I guess like it goes both ways, because if I'm someone that cares about my family, I would want the person that I'm with to care about my family.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what she would tell me. I'm trying to like wrap it up in a nice way, but I can't think of it.
Well, my mom used to tell me, when you're with someone and your significant other, you should talk to the person whenever you guys have arguments. Like, talk to the person, don't talk down to the person, or don't try to throw like insults, anything that like can hurt the other person's feelings. Like, I understand that maybe something might come up and you guys are not at a moment there, good place, both upset, but you shouldn't continue to hurt each other in that moment. Like, just talk it out and don't yell, like don't raise your voice, like, because, and I never, like, I also didn't see that with my parents. Like, my mom was, when they had I don't like to use the word arguments, but again, when they had disagreements, they spoke. I don't ever recall them like being like yelling at each other or being mean. So I took that and made sure, try to make sure that I do that with Constantine, because it's not always rainbows and sunshines. But yeah, I try to make sure I do that with Constantine. And then when I catch myself, like earlier this week, it was something very, very minute with me and Constantine, and I kind of like got a little overheated. I was just like, ugh, caught myself. And I told him, I was like, come here, come back in, because we were in the kitchen. He stepped out of the kitchen, came back in. I told him, come here. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I hugged him. I was like, I'm very sorry. I overreacted. I shouldn't have done that. I apologize. So talk it out. That was something I took from their relationship.
Wow.
Love. Yeah.
That's so interesting, because my mom would tell me, like, don't tell them when you're like upset. Like, because that for her was like, if you show too much, then you're showing them that you just love them too much.
I see what your mom is saying.
She doesn't want me to look vulnerable or like emotionally depend on somebody else to the point where I'm just like spilling all my beans to this one person.
Yeah, I get
but
that.
Now I'm just like, wow, I'm not saying anything now.
Lock it down. Do you know what okay, I actually was talking to my therapist about this week, because I am at a point in my life where like I no longer like lock down what I'm feeling or like keep it to myself. Like 3 years ago, there's no way I would have been able to talk to you guys about like what was happening with us or like with anybody in my life. And now like I'm at a point where I grew up learning or seeing that you were supposed to like your like negative emotions, like keep them to yourself and work them out like with yourself internally. And I think that's why I was having, I don't want to say like, no, it did. It like reverberated into my like outside life with people, my relationships. And at some point, like I had to do the work with myself to like realize it's okay to like, if something makes me sad, to cry about it or to like be angry about something. I can't go around like hurting people like whenever I want. Not that I want to. That was a really weird way to phrase that. I'm so sorry. But like I can't be like careless with my emotions either. Like to be so quick at the tongue or whatever. And I'm really happy that I've gotten to a place where I'm like firm in my emotions to be like, no, this did upset me. It's okay that it upset me. It's okay if you didn't intend for it to, but like, let's acknowledge that like there's hurt here. And I feel like it's really helped me to be able to like stand my ground, I guess, like in, again, not arguments, but like disagreements with people in my relationships, both like familial, platonic, and romantic. And I just feel really proud of myself for that.
Round of applause.
Thank you. But sometimes I do be like, what's wrong? Nothing. Nothing is wrong. Everything is perfect.
Yeah, you gotta ask me a couple times before I'm like, well.
And then I guess like to what you were saying, like I had to learn to like walk away, because I can be like, how would my mom say it? Like we say quick-witted, but it's really just like sarcastic and like a little like mean. It's like if we're fighting and I have something like ready to go, like you're gonna hear it. But I've learned to like, no, you need to like walk away, like process what you're feeling, come back when you're not feeling like so ready to be mean, I guess, basically, and approach the situation from like a calmer like place. Especially like if you feel like a conversation isn't going, or if I feel a conversation is not going down a productive road, I'm like, okay, like let's stop and like let's walk away from it and come back, because I can be a little sassy, I guess we'll say. So sorry. What is it? Oh, petty spaghetti. I can be a little petty
spaghetti. Yeah.
Yeah, I can be a little petty spaghetti, but I don't want to be. So
Sometimes you gotta be, man. Sorry.
What'd you say?
Sometimes you gotta be.
Yes. I would agree with that, Liana.
Sometimes you gotta be. Sometimes people need to be like
put in their place.
Exactly. And how else to do that without being petty? Come on now.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's like, no.
Okay. I totally get the walk away. Walk away, and that's it. I walk away, and that's it. I'm not, no more. I can't. I'm not gonna give it my energy. I cannot. No.
I just need to do I need to say one thing and then I'm done. Once I'm like,
okay, fine.
Okay, out.
Okay, fine. I definitely need to have the last word in. Yes. See, I don't know what the last word is. I don't know how it's gonna come out. I don't know what the approach is. It's gonna come out. But
exactly. So once it's there, then I'm ready to walk out. Then I'm ready to be like, okay, I'm
fine.
Like I said the last word, we're done arguing. I don't understand why you wanted to keep going.
Then maybe I'll be like, okay, but that's it. We already had this conversation. I'm done. And I'll be like, I'm done with this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I say that all. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. But we're done with this.
We're done with this. Yeah.
See, you were judging us over there. You're the exact same way, ma'am.
I know you are, though, is the thing.
I'm trying not to be, but she's there. She's there.
In our we're not in our 20s anymore. We are in our 30s, and like you do have to handle situations differently than we would have in the past. Especially because a lot of like the relationships that we have now, again, whether it's like platonic or romantic, are relationships that we intend to keep. And like, not that, I mean, I'm not saying you should treat anybody any certain way depending on how you want to have them in your life, but like these relationships are harder to work at, as we have continuously spoken about. Yeah. I feel like at this point everybody's like, we get it. All right. Okay, goodness. So kind of going back to what you said, Liana, when you and Norin were first dating, like were you like, I guess like clocking these things like, oh, like this thing is important to me and he does this, or like I could kind of live without this, you know what I mean? Kind of. I mean, Norin is so family oriented that I'm just like, this is great. It's perfect. 10 out of 10 kind of guy. And you know, he tries to like build relationships with my parents and all that stuff. He's working on building a relationship with my dad, so that's nice. My dad's not the easiest, so but yeah, he was just so family oriented. Like it just naturally happened that way. But it was just the way he was. So it was great. So, and then I guess I was gonna say, like, do you think it's like a Hispanic thing? But Norin's Filipino, and then I know Constantine's like pretty family oriented, and he is. I know, don't say it. Ukrainian. Yes. There we go. I think it just like depends like on how the parents raise their sons. Yeah, you know, like, 100%. If how. Like it's just how it is. Does play a big part in it. Yeah. Like I can never trust a man who treats their mom in a bad way, and I've also never met a man who's treated their mom in a bad way.
And thank God for that.
Because we'd have a problem on our hands.
We would have a problem.
And then, we're not about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I will say that, like, I agree with the general sentiment, but I also, like, tend to take into account, like, coming from a familial relationship that is, like, strained for reasons that I have. Like, some people look at my relationship with my dad and are like, that could never be. I've literally had people tell me that could never be me. And I'm like, that's really great. You don't have to be in that position.
Yeah.
But it's a choice that I had to make. So I'll hear you out. I'll listen to what you got to say. But if I don't agree with it, then I don't agree with it. Which it's not my place, but like also like what will I allow into my life?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Yeah.
So then for you with what you were saying, because you were saying like to be able to like take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So then does that mean like you get to a place in your career where you can make enough to like cover like everything in your life? Like, what does that look like for you?
What do you mean? Like, cover everything in my life?
Like, your rent, your bills.
If Constantine wasn't in the picture.
Oh, my Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would fall under the umbrella. I think that's what my mom, like, tried to instill in me. Like, you make sure that you have enough to get you by until you have something else come into, like plan out for you. Like, so let's say if hypothetically, I don't want to say I lost my job. Oh my God. I don't want to say that out loud. I don't like saying things out loud like that.
God forbid something happens.
God forbid something happens and I can't support myself, right? Mm-hmm. At least there's something there to back me up until I'm able to, have something else
like
for income.
Your savings.
Yeah, yes. Okay, savings, right. So, because also like you don't want to do that to your partner too and like leave them like trying to
having to
like you guys are jointly supporting yourselves.
Yeah, so, exactly. So to leave that on like my partner, that's tough for them. But at least if I have like enough savings to get us by, like it'll ease the blow. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that is like what that's what she's always been about. Even when she was with my dad, she was always like that. Mm-hmm. My dad would be like, no, here, I have it. Like, take it. And she's like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. She's like, if I need it, I'll let you know. But she was very much a person like, I got it. She can handle herself like on her own. I'm like, damn, I wish.
Dad used to tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you like have something on the side. Mm-hmm. Like, make sure you save and all that stuff. Like, don't, so that God forbid you already have like something. And
that was another thing too. Like, my mom is very blunt. She's just like, it's nice that you have someone, you're married or whatever, and you could be together for years. But the minute that shit sinks, at least you have something to fall back on, and you don't have to worry about, that this person was taking care of you and paying for this and paying for that you can actually stand up and say, no, I did my own thing. And I was like, damn, Ma. And I saw her do it. I did see my mom do that after my parents split up. My mom took care of us. Mm-hmm. I don't know how she did it because I'm doing it with someone else. And I'm like, damn. But my mom did it. She made sure there was food on the table, lights, bills were paid, rent was paid. We had, even like toiletry essentials. Like, you don't really think that adds up. Like, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, she made sure she had it down to a T. Mm-hmm. And still was like, here's another like $20. Even though I was like working, she'd be like, here's another $20. Like, thank you, Mom. But she made sure she did that. And that's when she was like, Amanda, I need you to do this. And again, came back to me and ooh. But now I know.
Yeah. And I think, so what you were saying about like having money saved up, like in case something happens, I recently have like gotten a high yield savings account. So like I have money that I know I don't need. Like it's just put, like I have a couple of months rent put away and a couple of months for like some of the other bills put away. And like it just sits there. And it's very nice because it accrues like way more interest than it would sitting in my regular like savings account at the bank. Right. So something to look into if you are like, I have all this money saved, but like I wish I could like invest it or like do something with it. I'm not so like into investing yet. Like I don't really know much about it. So for me, the first like I guess segue into one day investing, one day like doing something like that is the high yield savings account. So yeah, having money put away is so important, guys.
Yes.
And it's rough out here. So if you don't have money put away, don't worry. A lot of people don't. We're 30 years old and it's taken us so long.
You'd be surprised how many people actually live like paycheck to paycheck. And it's just because the way the cost of living in whatever city you are, living in, it's just sometimes it's just it's hard to get by.
Now that you mention that, this is so off topic, but now that you mention that, do you guys know where Kent Avenue is? Like right by the Williamsburg Bridge?
Yeah.
Do you know how much a studio is in that apartment?
How much is it?
Yes.
It has
like
to be
studio.
5.
It has to be
1,000.
3,000.
I was gonna say 3.
1 bedroom is 5,000. No. 1 bedroom is $7,000.
Oh my god!
And then a studio,
like where Delancey and all that
is like 4 to 5, I think.
Like where the DL and Delancey and all that is.
Yeah. But
you know
like across the water.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was in that area, like coming into that area, across the bridge, and I was like, it's so different here now. Like it looks different. So I see that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. $7,000 for a 1 bedroom.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. We're not doing that.
1 bedroom.
No, we're not doing that.
So honestly, yes, very important to have something safe, because if you need to have $7,000 of rent, like
sometimes I don't know why we live in New York. Because I am
$1 million question.
Like I am making more money than I ever thought I would. Like if somebody had told me what my salary was going to be when I was a kid, I'd be like, oh my god, that's so much money. Like that's insane. I could never imagine making, and I don't even make $100K. So just take that into account. And it's still sometimes like we're like budgeting. We're like we're going to the spa next weekend. Like that, I planned to have that money set aside. For that. So it's just like it's rough out here, you guys.
So thanks to our parents for teaching us that.
Yeah,
right.
You know what? Right, they can tell you and tell you and tell you, and you're like, yeah, yes, and you're nodding your head, yes.
Money every week and going out,
and the minute
that stuff,
the minute it really actually falls on your plate, you're like, oh, this is what she's been talking about the entire time. And then so sometimes she's like, sometimes my mom and I have these conversations where I'm like, yeah, I had to buy this and I had to buy that and my groceries was this much, and she goes, oh really? Oh, verdad, mija, verdad, right? And I'm like, okay, mommy, I get it. I get what you're saying. Pero ma, this is happening to me now. This is me you're talking about. This is your daughter.
It's your baby girl. God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
So, okay, your like platonic friendships are not immune to that either. So what is maybe like a lesson you learned? I feel like we've talked about it several times though. We each have like different things that we've taken from friendships over the years. But is there anything else you want to share with the people when it comes to having friends?
I think one lesson that my mom has always taught me, and that it took me a really long time to like really get, was the fact that not everyone is your friend. And I say that because like growing up, like I always valued all of my friendships, regardless if they were bad or good, or like if we would have a falling out and then we would make up and then we would be like really close again. And like my mom would always warn me, like, look, you're old and this was like what, high school, the moment that I'm thinking of, I'm in high school now. So she would just like come to me and be like, hey, like you're old enough now to know that just because you are not mad at this person anymore doesn't mean that they're your best friend, or doesn't mean that they're always gonna be there for you or be in your corner, because they could easily say like, oh, that's really awesome, and then behind you be talking mad smack, and then it's like, and I was like, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about. I knew this person from like middle school, like we're friends and all this stuff. And she was like, okay, whatever. And then got hurt again. And I was like, Mom, but why are people so mean? And she was just like, not everyone is your friend. It took me a long time to know.
Yeah.
I mean, to add to that, Leona, again, my mom, very blunt. I don't know. I'm like, Mom, who hurt you? I want to know, like, who hurt you?
Oh my God.
Who hurt you, Mom? But my mom was very big. I guess she kind of still is. Like, she goes, this is very mean. And a lot of my aunts and uncles, meaning her brothers and sisters, are like this too. There's no such thing as best friends. She had told me that. And I was just like, but ma'am, like, so when I had my first experience, like my first best friend, right? And I was in elementary school and I told her what was happening. And she was just like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mija, but there's no such thing as best friends.
Oh my God.
Like,
That's like saying, like, there's no such thing as Santa.
and she goes, but I'm going to tell you why. And she explained to me, you know, what to look out for in a friend and how vulnerable you should be with someone. She goes, I only tell you this because I don't want you getting hurt. So I understand that there are people that are going to come into your lives and you want to share like almost everything under the freaking sun. But sometimes it's just, you got to be careful with what you're saying, because some friends are going to be like your really good friends. And then there are going to be some friends they're going to have like mucho envidia. They're going to be very envious.
My mom used to tell me that all the time too.
All right. They're going to be very envious of you because they're like, well, how come Amanda can do this and Amanda can do that? And, you know, Amanda has this going on for her. And, you know, some people are not going to always be happy for you. Not everyone's going to be on your team.
Yes.
So just be careful. And, you know, as you grow up, you see yourself falling into like new friendships. And then in those friendships, you learn like you have like tiffs or whatever and like falling out. So like, you know what to do, I guess, in your next like friendship, like, you know what not to do, what to say and how to be around people. But also like trying to be genuine at the same time, because you want to give you want to be authentic in your relationships, right? In your friendships. So I still keep that in the back of my head because I know my mom and I know how she is and how she raised me. But also like, I don't want to be like a loner. I know I can be a loner, but you know, it's nice to have friends.
Yeah.
So, but that was the one thing she taught me for sure when it comes to friendships.
Yeah. You should tell me that too. On top of like, not everyone is your friend.
Yeah.
She always used to add on to the fact that like, just because they say you're your friend or whatever, doesn't mean that you can just tell them your entire life. Like, are you going to tell them when you brush your teeth too? I was like, Jesus.
I'm done.
No,
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
I think there's a line for sure. And like, I don't want to say like, you know, like when you found somebody that's like truly like you can like, you know, share with whatever you feel like sharing, you can share with them. Because I think even like people that you never thought could surprise you sometimes. But it's hard because you do want to be like, sometimes I will be in situations where I'm like, I just like, who do I talk to? Like I need somebody to talk to. Most of the time I can go to my mom and it's amazing. But there are some things like, even now at 30 years old, that you like don't want to go to your mom for. And so then it's like picking like, who can I go to? Who can I trust with this? You know what I mean? So it's hard because like you have to like find the line for yourself and then also keep in the back of your head like people surprise you. So it's hard.
Yeah.
I feel like you and I were like living like same lives in high school. Because I had like a very similar situation happening with me, and it took me a very long time. Yeah. Like, and I was so like, I came out of everything so hurt, and so like, I'm very like confused and like not really knowing like who what I happened? Could trust. And my mom, she never said I told you so. She would just keep telling me like, just watch yourself, watch what's happening, like. And I do give her a lot of credit for that, because I know that like it couldn't have been like the easiest, because I'm sure part of her just wanted to be like, no, you're not going to hang out with this person anymore. And like, that's it. But what does that do when you're a kid? Yeah. You're like, let me go hang out with them all the time now.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yep.
So, I also feel like women, not women friendships, because now that we're older, I think there are still like those people who like don't always have the best intentions, but like girl friendships, like when you're growing up, it's so hard to navigate because you have like so many people, so many things like coming at you and like putting like different like messages in your head, and like,
yeah.
You could not pay me all the money in the world to go back to junior high and high school.
Nope. Oh, no. I don't want to do that ever again. No.
No.
Maybe high school. I would redo a couple of things in high school, but
absolutely not.
But in elementary school and junior high school, no. Don't want to go back there again.
I will say my first experience with a best friend was like really great. I had a best friend when I was in elementary school, and we were best friends throughout all of elementary school. And I'm sure that we had like our little tiffs or arguments or whatever, but none that like stick, none that I can really remember. I only have like good memories with this person. And we ended up going to different junior high schools. So like we grew apart. But like even today, like Jetter's son, I met him, and like it was probably one of the last pictures I think we have together, because I think it might have been one of the last times that we saw each other. But like randomly, like I'll text her and be like, "Hey, like how are you?" or like "Happy birthday," like
right.
And it's so like to me, like it holds like such a good like memory, like a good place, a special place in my heart.
And you guys could always go back and just like wish each other like well wishes, like like that's nice.
Yeah. And it's it was such a great like first friend experience for me to have, and I do think that like it kind of set me and I was like, other people can do this.
I have a similar friendship like that. I met him when I had just moved, and I was starting a new school. And since the moment like we saw each other, we became best friends. And to this day, he recently just texted me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like,
"Oh, that's so nice."
Yeah, and it's just we had like one little argument, I think, and we were like, what, 10? And like after that, it's just like, but those things like they don't stick.
Yeah.
And like every time, like when I was still working in publishing, I had to travel to Texas for a show. He was living in Texas at the time, and I was like, "Hey, I'm in town. Like, do you want to like hang out?" And we did. And I met his fiance, and I was like, "This is so nice." It was a great time.
There is one person now that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I went to elementary school with. She used to live in the neighborhood. And she moved out with her fiance. She got engaged. And I can whatever she puts up like on her story, or even if it's her birthday. Like I'll go ahead and I'll message her happy birthday, or that bag looks cute, because she does a lot of she does like shopping hauls, and she'll like do so she'll open up her packages. She has a whole Instagram for it, but but she's that one person I can always like it's very like chill and relaxed. I consider her a friend. I do. So not too long ago, she actually tagged me in a photo, and it was her birthday, and we're sitting down, and I think her dad, who is a famous Grammy award-winning percussionist, he must have been playing an instrument, and we were just like looking at him play. So I mean, yeah.
That's so
a cute picture. I was like, God, that's tiny us.
Wow.
And I can look at us now. We're thriving. She's like, absolutely. Yeah.
So, see, and then so like this whole thing, I would say like is like I guess like the flip side to what your mom was saying. Like when you open yourself up, like this is like the possibilities that could like happen, because for the bad experience that I had with a friend, and it's not the only one, I've had a couple, but like I also have a friend from junior high who like we were literally born like within days of each other, and our parents knew each other, and so like but we didn't really meet and get to become friends until junior high. Still to this day, amazing relationship. Thomas, I've known for 11 years now. Like there is like beauty and like, I don't know, something revitalizing for like your soul, and like opening yourself up and allowing yourself to become friends with people who like show you like their soul is good. It's hard to find sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll be like, oh yeah, I thought I knew that person, and then they'll do something and you're like, I did not know that person at all.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a lot of, what do they call it? Trial and error.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so to kind of round us out, you guys, we are 10 months into 2023. It's going to be over soon before we know it, which, whatever. I cannot deal with how fast time is moving. But what is maybe the biggest lesson that you've learned so far this year?
Damn.
Trust the process. I told you, like I'd said at the beginning of the year that I was going to allow peace or be at peace with certain things that were going to be thrown at me because I didn't know what the year was going to hold for me, this 2023. So I feel like I'm trying to take everything with a peaceful mind, just be at peace with everything that's, again, what was thrown at me. Life was lifing. Life is still lifing. And again, just trust the process. I've been really sticking to that. So yes, I'm trying to continue with that these next 3 months in the year. Yeah, or 2 months. I don't know, is it October?
2.5.
2.5. Yeah. Is that what? Now it's like then 10 weeks left in the year. Insane. 10 weeks left in the year.
Honestly, like Jamaica feels like another lifetime. Like I'm just like, how was that this year?
That feels so long ago.
I think the biggest lesson for me so far is that it's okay to talk about feelings.
I love that.
I'm learning. It's a lot to learn. But it's happening.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's a lot to learn. Okay. But I'm learning and I'm doing it.
You're growing and you're glowing. It's great. So yeah, I think I'm like somewhere like in between both y'all actually. In that you know, the anticipation to turning 30 was a lot. I was like very reflective and I'm like, what have I done? Like, I haven't really done anything so far. I can't believe this. Oh my God. But that's really not true at all. And I have really just like, I've come to realize, or I am at the final point of realizing like, I'm like the best is yet to come. Like I have yet to like reach my peak. Because I think sometimes we get lost in like what could have been or what should have been. And you're like, well, maybe that was my peak, but like I have yet to hit my peak. And I'm like in the process or like at the tail end of the process of like coming into like my own as like who I am as a person, kind of like what I stand for, like what I'll put up with, those type of things. And like, I feel like I'm fully becoming a person, if that makes sense. Like you kind of said something, I don't know if it was last week or the first episode, where like you said, now I can say I'm an adult. And like, that's how I feel. Like, and it's nice to be in a place where I feel comfortable. I feel at home, like in myself. It's been, I will say the year has been rough, but because it's been a lot of like internal work, but it's nice. I think I'm coming to a place where it feels good and that makes me happy. So hopefully we end 2023 on a high note. Yes.
That's always the goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, you guys. What is making y'all glow this week? I have mine, and it's kind of a shout out also.
Go.
Okay. So I'm going to shout out Corporate Pero Latinos. I went to like a happy hour they hosted for Hispanic Heritage Month this week. And it was so much fun. Like everybody I met there was so nice and so like, I don't know, you know, sometimes when you go to networking events, like they can be like really cliquey, like everybody like kind of stays with who they know. Yeah. Like everybody was so like willing to like make friends, and I made like friends with some really amazing women while I was there. And it was just so nice to be in a space where like every like person that I met there was like killing it. And I didn't realize like that was a community that like I was looking for or even like wanted until I was in it. And it was like, everybody was so open to talking about like their work and like how they got there and like how their like heritage like plays a role in that for them. It was very cool. So if you're in New York City, you know, check them out. You can find them on Instagram at Corporate Pero Latinos, and yeah, just check them out.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
It was great, and everybody was like everybody was like in business or like tech or like marketing, or it was really cool.
That's cool.
That's fun.
That's great to have that for us as a community. I love that, and they have different chapters. That's great.
Latinos killing it. We love that.
Heck yeah. We always appreciate positive feedback. One of our listeners, Morgan, you know who you are. She reached out to us on Instagram this week, and she just loved our first episode.
Aww.
I was like, yay! I love that you loved our episode, our first episode of the season. And, you know, I'm glad that, again, people are out there listening because she gave an idea on a topic. So I am going to take that topic into our next meeting. I claim that topic. So I have one of two right now. So if somebody else wants to just, you know, DM us another topic, I will take that topic too into the next meeting. So yeah, that's making me glow this week.
I gotta say, the feedback on that episode is also making me glow. People love it.
Yeah.
You
guys, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I've had family, friends reach out, and I'm just like, wow, fantastic. I love this. Yeah.
I love that you love us.
Yeah.
What's making me... Well, yesterday was my youngest brother's birthday. He turned 22. We went out to eat, spent time with family. It was really fun. He had a great time. So,
yay. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I already told you. It's fine.
Leon's like, it's 2 a.m. I want to go home.
I'm tired.
Wrap it up, please. Oh, we did.
Right, and on that note, you guys can stream season 1 and season 2. Listen to the first couple of episodes of season 3 on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can catch new episodes every Wednesday, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure you leave us a glowing review because we love to hear from y'all. And yeah.
And again, send us a topic. DM us for Amanda. You just have to use put this is for Amanda. You can send that to us on Instagram at glowinguplatina, or you can just email it to us at glowinguplatina@gmail.com.
And until next week, keep glowing, mija.
Bye. Bye.